Hi, my YouTube nickname is Eris. My real name is Daniel. I'm going to recommend some books. I'm recording this on a cell phone and I do not want to do the little typing thing, so I'll try to make it clear with my speech, the name of the book and the author. And let's get started. First book that I want to recommend is called Animal Speak. It's written by a man named Ted Andrews. This is a very interesting book, and he did a lot of research. He covers birds, mammals, lizards, some bugs, along with other stuff. To put it blandly, metaphysical. Some people think in terms of like a cult, but it's more about qualities of these animals that are known in world history. For instance, the cardinal is said to represent steadfastness and loyalty, and he has a sizable explanation for many of these creatures: bats, um, dogs, things like that. His name is Ted Andrews. This is suitable for any audience. This is a big, thick book too. Now, the second book, you are not to try to read this book without talking to your caretakers, guardian, parents, okay? Scouts Honor, right? I'm not a Boy Scout. This is called Trainspotting. It was written by Irvine Welsh. It's a very thick book. It details the lives, in a fictional story, details the lives of people in Scotland who are addicted to a drug called heroin. Drug addiction is it's a pretty sad thing, particularly when someone has nothing else besides this thing that's considered so harmful. And it is indeed harmful for a person to be addicted to drugs. It's also harmful to them because society tends to look down on people who do this sort of thing. So it's like a double-edged sword, and both edges can cut a person, so to speak. He wrote other books as well, this man named Irvine Welsh, but I'm not familiar with them, nor do I recommend them, because I haven't read them. They also made a movie called Trainspotting, which maybe you could watch with your family. I'm sorry, that's my mug in the way. Let me move that. Something. I have a book here. It is called Silence on the Wire. And the subtext on here: a field guide to passive reconnaissance and indirect attacks. This is related to computer networking. If you're interested in hacking, this is a book that, well, has a lot of stuff it talks about. I want to make a little section here about hacking, but I think I'm going to have to wait until some other video, because there's a lot of glamour in that whole area of life. Glamour is a word that means, it refers, glamour is kind of like something that looks very appealing. It really catches the eye, so to speak, or maybe it's almost magnetic and you're drawn to it. But glamour is not to be trusted. So you think about that word sometime. I dare you. Hold on. I have two other books I'm going to recommend, both of which are intended for a female audience. That doesn't mean you can't read it if you're a boy. The first one is Beyond Beautiful. This is a book about body issues, how women feel about how they feel about themselves looking in society, because it's probably pretty true that women feel, girls, young ladies, women feel they have to look their best all the time, and sometimes they do things that make them feel very bad just so they can appear the way that they think they should, or that some ignorant jerk tells them they should. So Beyond Beautiful, it has a feminist perspective. It's not very negative in terms of feminism. It's not trying to get a pitchfork ready, but I liked it. It was pretty cool. There's a lot of sections in there. So, especially if you're beginning to develop body issues or being sad because you don't feel you can approach life the way you want to in terms of fashion and how you look to people and how you feel about yourself, I recommend Beyond Beautiful. And the fifth and final book I recommend is The Smart Girl's Guide to Privacy by a pseudonym known as Violet Blue. A pseudonym is like an author pen name. This book is pretty easy to read. It's not like the Silence on the Wire book that I showed you. Silence on the Wire, extremely technical. It'll take you a while to get through it, probably. The Smart Girl's Guide to Privacy is intended for a female audience, and it's you could say it's common sense writing instead of using lots of words that you might not be sure what they are. I bought 2 copies. I'm hoping I get some women in my life that want to read it because I care about them.